Have you ever wondered how people came to know that the sun was the center of the universe?
The church taught that the earth was the most important body in the sky, so the sun and all the planets revolved around the earth.
For thousands of years, astronomers have been studying our solar system and trying to understand it, and the same question keeps popping up. What is the center of the universe?
In the early 1500s, when everyone believed Earth was the center of the universe, Nicolaus Copernicus proposed that the planets instead revolved around the sun. He was an astronomer, mathematician, translator, artist, and physicist. He is best known as the first astronomer to posit the idea of a heliocentric solar system, the system in which the planets and planetary objects orbit the sun.
Nicolaus wasn't always planning on being the astronomer. He traveled to Italy at age 18 to attend college, where he was supposed to study the laws of the Catholic Church and return home to be a canon. Instead, he spent most of his time studying mathematics and astronomy.
While attending the University of Bologna, he lived and worked with astronomer Professor Domenico Maria de Novara, doing research and helping him make observations of the heavens instead of becoming a canon.
In 1504, Copernicus began the research that supported his heliocentric theory. He had already returned to Poland, taking a position in the Colgate Church of the Holy Cross in Breslau, Sicily, now Wrocław, Poland. In 1512, Copernicus became a canon in the Ermlin chapter of Frauenburg, now Frauenburg, Poland. Nicolaus once said in his research, "The great majority of authors believe that the earth stands still in the center of the universe and consider it inconceivable and ridiculous to suppose the opposite. But if the matter is carefully weighed, it will be seen that the question is not yet settled. If one should admit that the earth revolved instead of the sun, and if this was carefully considered in regard to the apparent rising and setting of the sun, it would be discovered that this was the real situation."
In his new position, he was able to devote more time to his study of astronomy. He had an observatory built in one of the towers in the town wall. Until just before his death, Copernicus conducted most of his astronomical observations and calculations there, usually working alone.
His observations were made with the naked eye, as the invention of the telescope would not occur for decades after his death. In 1514, he distributed a handwritten, unpublished manuscript entitled The Little Commentary.
At age 70, Nicolaus Copernicus died of stroke on May 24, 1543 in Frauenburg, Poland.
It was not until the 16th century that a geometric mathematical model of a heliocentric system was presented by the Renaissance mathematician, astronomer, and Catholic cleric Nicolaus Copernicus, leading the Copernican revolution.
Copernicus became a symbol of the brave scientist standing alone, defending his theories against the common beliefs of his time.
Nicolaus not only changed the scientific way of thinking, but also religiously, since the Catholic teachings were based on theory that the earth was in the center of the universe.
His theory went against the theory of a Greek astronomer Ptolemy argued about. The theory about the earth was the stationary sphere in the center of the universe and that the other planets, including the sun, were orbited around the earth.
This theory had been thought of up in 150 AD and had been used since then, so it was taken in widely, making Copernicus's theory a very large impact. Even though Copernicus's theory most went up against those two obstacles, many still had problems with this theory, because if the earth was orbiting and spinning, many thought that if one jumped up, then one would be left behind in that very spot, so the person would travel, which of course they knew did not happen.
Although Copernicus' model changed the layout of the universe, it still had its faults. For one thing, Copernicus held on the classical idea that the planets traveled in perfect circles. He was later proved wrong by Johannes Kepler.
While Copernicus' model physically placed the sun at the center of the solar system, it also figuratively removed the focus from Earth, making it just another planet.
Many scientists started reading Copernicus's work, which was published in 6 volumes. His theories influenced Galileo Galilei, Isaac Newton, and many others. Copernicus will be remembered as the first astronomer to use mathematics and physics to prove that the Earth was not in the center of a universe, but a planet that joined with others to orbit around the sun.